And a good Friday to you. Well, it's not Good Friday. That's in spring. It is Friday, however, the 28th day of December, 2018. And this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host on a busy Friday, the last Friday of the year. Right out of the box, we want to tell you that Rivercom Dispatch 911, the emergency number is back down again. Let me walk you through the timeline. It went down last night at about 8:40. This was a statewide 911 outage. It went down, didn't go back up. CenturyLink is in charge of this. I don't know how or why, but that's necessarily the case. CenturyLink sent out a tweet a couple of hours later saying we have isolated the problem and we're going to get it fixed. We'll have it up and running in about 4 hours. 4 hours later, they didn't have it up and running. They sent out another tweet that basically said as we were addressing the original problem, we found secondary problems, so it stayed down. Briefly, it came back up again according to our friends at Rivercom, and now it is back down again. So again, if you need emergency services, 911 is not going to work if you live in the Chelan and Douglas County areas, and if you have an emergency, they're asking you to call Rivercom's normal business line, which is 663-9911. 663-9911 is a regular business line for Rivercom. Normally you wouldn't call that unless you had regular business, but now since the 911 system is down again, after briefly being back up again. In fact, I just got a text here from Rivercom. I'll just read this right here live on the air if you don't mind. You probably heard it. This is from Jason, who is the Rivercom shift commander that's going on right now. Both cellular and landline 911 phone service lines are out of service again. This looks to be statewide again. So the public, 663-9911. If you have an emergency, 663-9911. That is for emergencies in Chelan and Douglas counties. If you're a Grant County resident, you're asked to call the MACC Dispatch Center. So there you go. It was up, and then it came right back down again. We'll have more in this story when we get to news here in just a couple of minutes. We do have news, quite a bit of news to get to on this Friday. Weather forecast, going to have a little dusting of snow again coming up today and spilling into tonight. We have a lot of weather going on this weekend. We're going to have a weather system that's coming in, some light snow today, and then it's going to switch over to some rain and then very warm temperatures and very windy conditions. A weather smorgasbord, if you will, is in store for us for the weekend. Forecast details are coming up. Also, your past reports. Sports, lots of sports to get to as we preview not only the Seattle Seahawks' last regular season game of the year, but also high school prep results from last night. We have the obscure holiday, we have birthdays, we have today in history, we have everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And we had such a great time last week with my friend Brandon Lieberg, who works in this building. Brandon Lieberg, last summer, he and his lovely wife went down to Las Vegas, and he was a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He'll talk about what's it like to be a game show contestant and how maybe you can increase your odds of becoming a game show contestant. My conversation with Brandon coming up in the back half of the hour. And before I forget, Megan is in control. 3 minutes after the hour, let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. Another beautiful shot of downtown Wenatchee as we look north from the roof of the Cascadian Hotel. Very light traffic has been all this week. No school, of course. A lot of people are taking some well-deserved time off over the holiday season. A lot of people are taking today off, and they're taking Monday off, and they get Tuesday off. That's like a 5-day weekend. How do I get one of those? That's the question of the day. So very light traffic, not a lot going on your morning commute here on this Friday morning. Camera number 2. Megan says, let's go see. Looks like Billy Goat to me, Megan. Am I correct? I am correct. Billy Goat, sun beginning to come up. Sunrise here in the valley, not officially until 7:48. So even though that camera is about, what, 70 miles maybe to the north of the Wenatchee Valley, it looks like the sun is getting a head start on the rest of us. Beautiful view there from Billy Goat Mountain. Camera number 3. Megan says, let's see what's happening with Turtle Rock. Wow, that looks cool. No wonder Megan wanted to use that one this morning. That is the light pollution that you see. It kind of looks like that peachy colored rainbow. That's just lights coming up and hitting the clouds and the fog and coming right back down again. Turtle Rock dominating your picture there. The camera itself is called the Rondo Rock camera. And as I mentioned before, we can move these around. So the lights that you see are a combination of Rocky Reach Dam and the Wenatchee Valley. And finally, camera number 4. Megan says, let's go. What is that? What is that, Megan? Oh, that's Rock on it. Okay. Oh, that's been moved quite a bit. Okay. our Rock Island camera. Normally we have that moved a little bit more to the south, so you can actually see the Rock Island golf course and the city of Rock Island proper and the ponds, but that has been moved down the highway a little bit. It looks like there's lots of clouds and fog in the Rock Island area, and well, it's going to be the case today. Lots of clouds and patchy fog is what we're in store for, with some snow a little bit later on. Not a big dumping of snow. In fact, let's go ahead and do this from the National Weather Service. Here's your forecast, and it looks something like this. The next weather system arrives later on today. It's going to hang around through Sunday and then move on out of here. It gives us a little bit of everything. We're going to get some snow this afternoon. Less than an inch of snow is in the forecast, and a forecast high today of 32, right at the freezing mark. A 60% chance of daytime snow, but again, accumulations of less than 1 inch is what they're expecting. Less than half an inch possible tonight. The chance of snow goes down to 50%. 29 for the overnight low. Clouds, by the way, all day today and tonight. And then the sun comes out as the system begins to leave the area. It's going to bring us everything. We have a chance of rain tomorrow. We're going to have partly sunny skies and a high of 44 degrees. It's going to be windy, although the wind, southwest wind at 3 to 8 miles an hour. But at times, the winds could gust up above 20, 25 miles an hour, as a matter of fact. And the rain is forecast, if we get any, will be forecast for late Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. Continued breezy Saturday night, 33 for the overnight low. Sunday, sunshine at 41. So if you don't like the snow that we're expected to get today, and even though it's not a lot of snow expected to get today, it'll be long gone by Saturday and Sunday, but those temperatures very mild in the lower 40s. On Monday, New Year's Eve, sunshine at 35, and New Year's Day, partly sunny and a high near 35 degrees. By the way, we will be here Monday to do a show, but we won't do a very good show. Just promising you that right now. Let's take you up to the major mountain passes and see what's going on from the Washington State Department of Transportation. Right now, I-90, no advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare and dry. Clear skies, no problems at all. Things are looking good on I-90. Stevens Pass, same deal. No advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare and wet with some frost and ice in places. Nothing coming down out of the sky on Stevens and Blewett, just like the other two. No advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare and wet. Some frost and ice in places on Blewett. These were all live shots, by the way, we're showing you at the summit of the Big Three. So no advisories, no restrictions across the board. Forecast today, a couple of inches of snow. That's about it. Tonight, however, that system that's going to bring us some snow, going to bring them some snow. We're going to get a little bit of snow, just a dusting. They're going to get quite a bit. For today, 1 to 3 inches. For tonight, 3 to 5 inches. For Saturday, 3 to 7 inches. And then Saturday night, 4 to 8 inches of snow. So anywhere between, starting today, later on this afternoon, going all the way through Saturday night, anywhere from 11 to 23 inches of additional snow is expected to fall down in the Cascades. But as I mentioned, right now, no problems, no advisories, no restrictions. If you have to head over the mountain passes, there's a good window to go. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, your Friday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Everything we do is about delivering very high quality care and keeping our patients safe.
We really work as a team here, and so that's really what makes it worthwhile.
I give 100% every day, and I do that because I work for a company that I believe gives 100% back to me.
The bottom line is we genuinely care about our employees.
It is the most incredible place to work, and you will be inspired every day.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
And we are back here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is 10 minutes after the hour on this Friday, and a busy Friday indeed. I am Dan Kuntz. Here's what's making headlines. In fact, I just got another text about this 911 outage. There's a shot of Rivercom. Here's the situation as we know it now. We got a text from Jason, who is the shift commander of Rivercom. This came about 7 minutes ago. Both cellular and landline 911 phone lines are again out of service. It looks to be statewide again, according to Jason. Once again, if you have an emergency and you live in Chelan and Douglas counties, you need to call Rivercom's regular phone line at 663-9911 for any emergencies in Chelan and Douglas counties. Again, this comes from Jason. 911 outage was a statewide outage. It also was scattered all over many parts of this country, and it happened about 8:39 or so last night. And it brought down all 911 services across the state of Washington for quite some time. This morning at about 4:30, they were able to get 911 service back up and running at the Rivercom system, but it didn't last very long. They ran some tests, everything was okay, and then boom, it went right back down again. No estimated time of when 911 service will be restored. So once again, it is back down. If you live in Grant County, you're asked to call the MACC Dispatch Center for you Grant County folks. Again, Chelan and Douglas County, call Rivercom's regular business line if you have an emergency at 663-9111, and they're asking you not to call 911 to see if 911 is working. It doesn't help the situation. In other news this morning, a Yakima man was killed shortly before 10 o'clock last night when he was struck by a vehicle while standing on the side of Interstate 90. This happened about 7 miles east of George. State troopers identify the victim as 31-year-old Thomas Whitlock. Troopers say Whitlock was standing next to his disabled vehicle on the left side of I-90 when he was struck by a pickup. That pickup was driven by 50-year-old Christopher Samian of Wenatchee. Whitlock dead at the scene. Samian and his 2 passengers were not hurt in the accident, and no charges were filed. Well, for the 3rd time, a trial date has been set for the Rock Island man accused in the murder of his wife last summer. The new trial date for 68-year-old Uli Tulilio is March 4th. He was arrested on July 25th after law enforcement found the body of his wife, Peggy Tulilio, dead in the trailer that they were living in on Riverside Place in Rock Island. Peggy Tulilio had severe head trauma, including broken ribs, injuries to her forearm, her injuries to her shoulder, and her thigh. Peggy Tulilio called 911 to report that her husband had threatened her with a gun the night before the homicide. Uli Tulilio has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. The trial was originally scheduled for last September, then it was changed to early December, and now once again has been pushed back to March 4th. Well, after weeks of waiting for applicants to step forward for the open seat on the Wenatchee School Board, 3 people have applied as of yesterday afternoon. Anyone interested still has until January 2nd to apply. The board will announce the names of the candidates they intend to interview on January 3rd. They'll interview the finalists on January 4th at a public meeting, and they will make the appointment on January 8th. The person selected will replace Dr. Walter S. Newman, who resigned in November. The position will then go up for election in November of next year. Well, the last couple of days we've been profiling what's it like to ride around with a police officer on a DUI patrol. This is something that our very own Caitlin Hedder, she did a couple of weeks ago, and this morning we wrap up our 3-part series on the DUI ride-along with Wenatchee Police Officer Albert Gonzalez.
Driver impairment due to alcohol and drugs is the #1 contributing factor in fatal crashes in Washington state and is involved in nearly half of all traffic fatalities. This, according to a 2018 traffic safety report. Another major contributing factor to vehicle fatalities in Washington state is speeding, which accounts for 31% of all crash fatalities between 2007 and 2016. While on a DUI ride-along with Wenatchee Police Officer Albert Gonzalez, we saw an example of an impaired driver speeding and failing to yield.
Come on, there's plenty of places to pull over. You gotta be kidding me.
After pursuing the vehicle into East Wenatchee and eventually coming to a stop at a 7-Eleven, officers asked the driver to step out of the vehicle.
What is your issue? Driver, put your hands out the window. Driver, put your hands out the window.
Explaining to police why she failed to stop for Officer Gonzalez, the driver submitted to the preliminary breath test after admitting she had been drinking. Gonzalez places her under arrest for driving under the influence and speeding.
Okay, look, I'm not charging you with a felony, okay? I'm not charging you with a felony. This is simply you failed to yield to my lights and sirens, and obviously you're under the influence. Okay.
Any driver arrested for driving under the influence in Wenatchee is taken to the Chelan County Jail. In this case, the impaired driver began to refuse to cooperate with Officer Gonzalez, but volunteered for a blood test. After following protocol for a blood draw, the female driver was booked in jail for a DUI. When it comes to DUIs, I asked Gonzalez if he's ever sympathetic toward a person and their story, as it could be the worst day of someone's life.
It's all about how you talk to people and how you come across. I always tell people that exact thing, and a lot of officers do too. When we arrest somebody, it is the worst day of their lives. It doesn't matter what the charge is; they're going to jail, so they're not going to be happy about it. Some people know that it's coming. Some people don't care. Others freak out. But ultimately, what it comes down to is I just break it down and I say, hey, look, it's not a felony, first of all, and unless they have more than 4 in 10 years, then it is a felony, but that's another story. A lot of people from all walks of life we see that get DUIs. I mean, professionals, I mean, your average Joe, your hardened criminal, everybody. It's kind of a sad deal, but I think a lot of it comes down to people feel that they are fine and they're not.
More often than not, DUIs are a preventable crime. Officers often warn the community, just don't drink and drive.
That's what I say. It's always safe, just don't drive and just get an Uber.
Officer Gonzalez says there are cases where drivers are exhibiting dangerous behavior, but it's not always impairment.
Something that we got to be cognizant of too is medical emergencies that might seem like impairment, but aren't.
Drivers experiencing a diabetic episode, stroke, a crisis or mental health condition, or even a traumatic brain injury. These are all instances where a driver could be misidentified as impaired. Gonzalez says this is where interview questions and the field sobriety test can help determine the situation, or calling in a drug recognition expert.
If all else fails, then a DRE can be called out, a drug recognition expert, to conduct some additional testing.
Also known as a DRE, the purpose for this program is to further help officers determine whether a driver is under the influence and what drug is causing the impairment.
So I'm a DRE, so I do a lot of DUIs.
DREs complete several weeks of training and follow a 12-step procedure when investigating a possible DUI and are required to maintain their certification every 2 years. In our next NCW magazine, we sit down with Wenatchee detective Steve Evett to take a closer look at the field sobriety tests and talk more about DREs. Visit ncwlife.com to watch this episode and view other NCW magazines on demand. Caitlin Hedersheet, NCW Life News.
Once again, you can catch the full-length feature that Caitlin put together on the NCW Life magazine. It's also available to watch at your own perusal at ncwlife.com. And finally, although there's not a lot going on this weekend, there is some things going on in our very own ray of sunshine. Megan McPherson with this weekend's events.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. Are you ready to show off your nerdy side? Friday is trivia night at the Wenatchee Public Library from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Bring your own 2 to 8 person team or join a team when you arrive. Come for free fun, brain food, and prizes. Mission Ridge is hosting a Twilight Snowshoe Trek this Saturday from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Check-in is at 4:30 inside the Ridge Mountain Workshop at the rental desk. The trek departs promptly at 5:30 from just outside the rental shop. The cost is only $10. Also Saturday is a live concert featuring Keith Matsumura, Cole Loomis, and Andy Millard. Tickets are $7 at the door and 20% of proceeds will be donated to the Grace House Missions. It's happening from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Cafe Mela. And finally, bring in the new year with 2 sets of live music on Monday, New Year's Eve at Pybus Public Market, both free to the public. One is from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the second set is from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. The traditional apple drop happens at 9 p.m. sharp midnight East Coast time and again at 12 midnight Wenatchee time. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Thank you very much, Megan. It is 19 minutes after the hour. If you're just joining us, Rivercom's 911 emergency line is back down again. It's been working intermittently since about 4:30 this morning. So again, if you have an emergency in the Chelan and Douglas County areas, they're asking you to call Rivercom's regular line at 663-9911. 663-9911. If you just pick up your telephone in case of emergency and dial 911 proper, you may not get through. 663-9911. When this outage is completely fixed and it looks like the system is stable again, we'll be sure to let you know. We'll give you updates both on our website and on our Facebook page. And by the way, our website and our Facebook page are available for you anytime you want to use it. It's right there. It's also a great tool for you to get a hold of us, ncwlife.com. If you click on the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the Contact Us icon. Click on it, send us a message, or submit a news tip if you want. You can also email us at news@ncwlife.com, or you can private message us on Facebook. Don't forget the news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5, 6, and 10. 5, 6, and 10 each weeknight right here on the NCW Life channel with Grant Olson in the anchor chair and Eric Granstrom handling sports. 5, 6, and 10 also available to watch on demand whenever you want to on our Facebook page and on our website about 5 o'clock or so each weekday evening. It is 20 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Turn back the clocks and grab the ice melt. Winter weather is here. This is Corey at Rose Tractor. If you're looking for a reliable way to clear snow, look no further than Cub Cadet. For sidewalks and driveways, a Cub Cadet snow thrower will get the job done in a jiffy. For larger jobs, a Cub Cadet Challenger utility vehicle with a snow blade will handle about anything. You can depend on Cub Cadet for years of reliable performance, and we'll help you select the best model for your job at Rose Tractor, family-run business at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
22 minutes after the hour on this Friday, the 28th day of December. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's do sports. We'll start out this morning with a look at the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard in girls basketball from the various tournaments. These are results from yesterday, obviously. Haley Van Lith scored 32 points to lead Kashmir to a 76-46 win over Zilla at the Sundome shootout. The Bulldogs also got 18 points from Clare High in the victory. Forks topped host Cascade 44-41. That's at the Cascade Holiday Tournament in Leavenworth. Eastmont lost in the first round of the Avista Holiday Tournament to Lewiston, 66-54 yesterday. That's despite 13 points apiece from Caitlin Cox, Britt Vaughn, and Jaden Brown. The Clarkston girls, no problems with Wenatchee girls on the first day of the Avista Tournament. They won that one 65-31. So that's the girls. Let's take a look at the boys on the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard, and there you see it. Despite 21 points from Mason Landeck and 14 from Sam Phillips, the Kashmir boys fell to LaSalle. This was down in Yakima. 67-56. Cascade fell in the opener of their own holiday tournament to Forks, 67-46. Donovan Santana made a couple of free throws in the closing seconds to help Lewiston over Eastmont, 66-64 at the Avista Holiday Tournament. The Wildcats were led by the 21 points of Isaac Wellborn, 14 from Trey Haberlock, and 13 from Preston Esparza. And also at the Avista Tournament, Wenatchee edged Clarkston 45-43. Here's what's on tap. Here's your schedule today. We'll start out with the girls' side. Kashmir will take on LaSalle. Cascade will play Manson this morning at 11 a.m. and down in the Lewiston area. Day 2 of the Avista Holiday Tournament has Eastmont taking on La Poille at 9, followed by Wenatchee and Moscow at noon. The boys' schedule. Kashmir plays against WF West at 3 o'clock this afternoon at the Sundome Shootout. Cascade takes on Manson at 12:30 at the Cascade Holiday Tournament. Eastmont plays Muckleshoot Tribal at 10:30 this morning in the Avista Holiday Tournament, and Wenatchee is in the winner's bracket. We'll take on Walla Walla tonight at 7:30. A reminder, we have a replay in prep basketball tonight on the NCW Live channel. Is Eastmont and Pasco's doubleheader. The things get going at 5:30 tonight. This is a replay of a game from last Tuesday with Grant Olson on the call.
Left side, move to the left side. Pasco starting out a man-to-man defense. Here's Cox now, top of the key, open. She's going to take it. It's good. Guarded there by Maylee Martinez. Nice pass down low. Jaden Brown up and in. Beautiful feed down low by Caitlin Cox, and great assist. 5-0 Eastmont early lead. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Out front, it's Maylee Martinez for 3. Good. Nice defense by Maylee Martinez on Cox. She does finally get it to Heimbinger. Then it's stolen away by Anaya Heavens, the freshman. Layup, other way, good.
That was the girls' game from last Tuesday. The boys' game between the Bulldogs and Wildcats will follow at 7:30 tonight.
The hands of Lagarde and stolen away by Calvillo. Layup underneath, Tanner Nelson, good. Far wing to Wellborn. Now at the free throw line, Nelson, jump shot, good. Here's Nelson with it. Did not hand it off. Instead, Wellborn, baseline pass. Wellborn for three is good. Far side, Wellborn, left open from 20, good. Inbounds, it's Wellborn now for Eastmont to Haberlock, baseline shot for three, good. Back out, Haberlock, 9 on the shot clock. Nice spin move, Haberlock in the lane, good. Now it's Diego Gutierrez, he hardly misses, does this time though, off the back of the rim, no good. Eastmont has a chance to get a shot off here. 4 seconds, here's Nelson with 2 seconds left, up 3, good! Tanner Nelson at the buzzer, and that does it for our third quarter. Biggest lead of the night for Eastmont or any team at 12, and now a turnover. Back the other way, Wellborn all by himself, two-handed jam, good!
Both of those games tonight right here on the NCW Life channel. Then we're on to Saturday, and it's a wild weekend. Around here, we got lots of Wenatchee Wild hockey this weekend for you to watch. The Wenatchee Wild and Merritt at 2 o'clock Saturday. That'll be followed by the Wild and Trail Smoke Eaters at 7. And then on Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we got Wenatchee and Cowichan Valley, and that'll be followed by Prince George and the Wild at 7 o'clock. Nelson Cruz officially bid farewell to Seattle. Is going to be a Minnesota Twin next season. The home run hitting designated hitter became a free agent following last season with the Mariners. He's reportedly signed a 1-year, $14.3 million deal with the Twins. The team has an option for $12 million in 2020. There is his Instagram account thanking the fans and his teammates and the broadcasters. In the past 5 seasons, Cruz has 203 home runs, more than anybody else in baseball, and he's 38 years old, which means he's older than his new manager at the Twins, Rocco Baldelli. We're going to miss you, Nelson. Best of luck. And the Seahawks, they wrap up their regular season Sunday at home against the Arizona Cardinals. There is some speculation that Larry Fitzgerald may be playing his final game of his 15-year career for Arizona on Sunday. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll says the future Hall of Famer deserves all the credit in the world.
He's really tough and physical. He's extraordinarily talented. He's classy. He's got great character about the way he plays. Ability to come through. To make big plays in tough situations, incredible athleticism. You know, his hands are just, and his strength of the catch is just amazing. I think you go back to the playoff games a couple years ago when he's playing with Carson and making the plays at the end of the game to give him a chance. You know, he's just been a phenomenal competitor. He's one of the all-timers.
Bobby Wagner says he saw the kind of player that Fitzgerald was going to be by a hit that didn't happen early in his career.
He's just an amazing person, honestly. I can't say that enough. He's a great guy, a great person. The one thing that I remember, I think it was either my second or third year, there was a play on the outside where they got around, and Larry had the angle on Sherm, and he can crack back on Sherm. Could have took him out and didn't take it, and kind of let Sherm know, like, I could have really, you know, killed you on that one. But, you know, that's the type of person he is. You know, he's not trying to hurt anybody. You know, he ain't trying to do anything dirty. He plays the game the right way. He's an amazing person off the field. He does a lot of stuff to help people off the field.
Seahawks and Cardinals, 1:25 kickoff Sunday at Fox. And don't forget tonight at 6 o'clock in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, it's the Alamo Bowl, the Washington State Cougars and the Iowa State Cyclones. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday at 29 minutes after the hour. It's time for the obscure holiday, and today is card playing day. Perfect time to spend with your family or friends. Unplug the television, put the phone away, put the video games away. It's the perfect time of the year. It's a couple of days after Christmas. The holiday hustle and bustle is over. Now you can just sit back and relax. Nothing beats a nice, relaxing, fun game of cards. And there are hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of games of cards to play. Cards go back centuries. They believe cards were invented by the Chinese in the 9th century, playing cards. Even if you like to gamble a little bit, that's cool too. Poker, pinochle, gin rummy, whatever. Just unplug and play some cards. Today is card playing day. Always December 28th, because we don't know why. We do know it is December 28th. It's also the 172nd birthday of Iowa as we transition to today in history. Yes, happy birthday, Iowa. The 29th state was admitted to the Union on this date in 1846. It is, of course, the Hawkeye state. Fun facts about Iowa: the 4-year graduation rate for high schoolers, 90%, by far the top high school graduation rate in the nation, 90%. 4-year graduation rate for high school in Iowa. That's pretty good. Iowa and Missouri almost went to war in the 1830s over their border. The original survey was messed up. Iowa had a surveyor and said, here's the border between Iowa and Missouri Missouri had a different survey, and there was this area that didn't seem to belong to anybody. When Missouri, the land guy, tried to tax Iowans for living in Missouri, there was a big hubbub, and the militia was called out. It looked like they were actually going to go to war over about 3,000 acres. Didn't happen. Kind of interesting. And by the way, there are more hogs than humans in Iowa. There are 21 million hogs in Iowa and about 3 million people. Iowa, happy 172nd birthday. Today is the 151st anniversary of the day that the U.S. claimed Midway Atoll. It was the first territory ever annexed outside of the continental United States. It happened back in 1867. Nobody thought much of it at the time, but of course it would become a strategic piece of land during World War II. It was the first time the United States annexed any territory outside of its own borders. Happened on this date 151 years ago. And today is the 60th anniversary, 60 years ago today, of the greatest game ever played. At least that's what they call it. When the Baltimore Colts defeated the New York Giants in overtime to win the National Football League championship at sold-out Yankee Stadium. An estimated 45 million people watched the game, and it changed the popularity of pro football in this country forever. 60 years ago today. Finally, at 31 minutes after the hour, we got some birthdays. The 28th President of the United States, Woodrow Wilson, was born in the state in 1856, ranked by historians as one of the greatest presidents of all time, certainly in the top 10. He had a remarkable political career. In January of 1910, he was the president of Princeton University, and in November of 1912, he was elected President of the United States. That is a fast rise to power. Woodrow Wilson, born in the state in 1856. Martin Milner will always be known to me as Officer Pete Malloy on Adam 12, a show I enjoyed immensely growing up. Martin Milner was born in the state in 1931, passed away 3 years ago at the age of 83, the great Martin Milner. Bill Lee, the spaceman, the baseball pitcher, 72 years old today. When asked about his views on mandatory drug testing, Bill Lee said, and I quote, "I've tried just about all of them, but I wouldn't want to make it mandatory." Bill Lee is 72, and John Legend, the American singer-songwriter, the pianist, the actor, John Legend, who's a legend, is 40 years old today, 32 minutes after the hour. Once again, 911 service, not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but statewide, is back down again. It came up briefly for a short time this morning. It's been working intermittently, but it's not a stable system. So again, if you have an emergency in Chelan and Douglas counties, they're asking you to please call their regular business line at 663-9911. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion in my conversation with Brandon Lieberg, television sensation Brandon Lieberg. Coming up, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frappuccino.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha Frappuccino.
A peach Red Bull.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I used to say I love to travel, but recently, after a trip to Taiwan to see my son, I realized I hate to travel. Now, look, I do love being other places, but that's different than traveling. Being other places means new food, new experiences, new cultures to experience and get used to, and new stuff to see and learn about. Now, hey, I do love that. But travel means getting there, and that means long lines at airports, those TSA guys requiring me to submit the extra personal searches of my person, security people stealing my toothpaste because the tube is larger than 3 ounces. And travel means trying to be comfortable in the torture chambers that airlines call economy class. Oh yeah, I love to be places. I just hate the traveling part. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan
You could do
Kuntz.
some great stuff with it. What would you do?
You know, I have a large family. I come from a family.
Hi. We'll show more of that clip in just a little bit. That's my friend Brandon Lieberg, who appeared on a recent episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. You ever wonder what it's like to be on a game show, especially one that people watch? To talk about that experience and whatever else pops into our adult brains, my guest this morning is local celebrity Brandon Lieberg. Where are you, Brandon? There you are. Hi, local celebrity Brandon.
How you doing?
First timer, so a little bit about Brandon. Tell the viewing folks at home a little bit about yourself.
I'm 39 years old. I've lived in Wenatchee for almost 5 years. I live here with my wife and my 6-year-old daughter. I'm a network administrator for local telecommunications. That's pretty much it.
And we really, even though I've known Brandon since I came to work here at the company quite some time ago, I still don't know what he does. I don't know. I go down to see you guys every once in a while.
A lot of spells and chanting and
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Lots of monitors. If the number of monitors that you have in your workstation is reflective of your importance to the organization, this guy's like the emperor because he's got like a sea of monitors surrounding you.
Never enough.
So you're kind of, in a way, you're kind of new to the valley. If you're 39, but you've only been here for 5 years. Where'd you come from?
Yep, Puyallup.
Oh, okay, Puyallup.
Yep.
Okay.
Not very far.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So let's go. We'll start at the end because it's now December 19th. But you actually taped your segments of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in Las Vegas when?
In July.
In July.
Yeah.
So why did it take, first of all, why does it take so long from the time you tape it to the time it actually aired? And number two, you were kind of like under quarantine. Explain that whole process.
Well, they film a whole season within a number of weeks, and then the season runs from September to May. So, and you don't know when your episode's going to air until a week and a half, 2 weeks before it actually airs, because they air them, and they don't necessarily air them in the order that they tape them.
Okay.
So, and you're not allowed to talk about it because, you know, they want people to watch and figure out how much you won rather than you just telling everyone, because then they have no reason to watch, and then, you know.
Was that hard, or are you pretty, I mean, do you have to sign a bunch of paperwork, or are you just a naturally discreet person?
I did have to sign a bunch of paperwork, and it was difficult. I mean, I had people at work and people in my family just asking me all the time, how much did you win? How much? And even, you know, even my parents, I couldn't tell them. So, and that was pretty difficult. So.
Yeah. But you did finally get your money.
I did.
Spoiler alert, are you a millionaire, Brandon?
I'm not. I'm not. Not yet.
Not yet. Anyway, so talk me through the process. Are you a game show kind of a person? Are you just naturally smart and curious and you thought, I could probably win some money if I did this? Why Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? What planted that seed?
You know, I do like game shows. I'm a big Jeopardy fan, and I do watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire occasionally. I've tried to get on Jeopardy for years, but I had an opportunity to get on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire through the casting company who I applied for a different game show that actually never aired, and they contacted me and said, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is doing auditions, do you want to try out? And so I sent in a video, and they obviously liked what they saw. So, and I'm a naturally curious person. I spend as much time as I can learning and gaining knowledge, and that's kind of my #1 hobby. So.
And you were at the tail end of one episode and on to the next one, right?
Yeah.
So you were in a two-parter.
Yeah.
So that must have.
Yeah,
so
they stop it, and then they take you off stage, and you change clothes, and then they bring you right back, and that's the second episode.
Do they change the studio audience as well, or?
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't recall that they did that. They just brought me out. I wasn't expecting to do a 2-part episode, so I didn't bring a second change of clothes. So what I did is I just ended up taking off my suit jacket and throwing on a different tie. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you went to the website. Is that what you did? The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire website, and you did like a fake test or something?
No, there was no test. Initially, it was just a form that you filled out through the production company. There's companies that do audition, like a casting company. Mm-hmm. And they sent it to the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire producers, and then if the producers liked what they read on paper, just about me, then they did a Skype video test with me. Mm-hmm. So just threw some questions at me and got my demeanor and everything.
And they said you're good,
yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah, I heard a few weeks later, and I was excited. I didn't know when, and they called me, I think, 3 days before I had to be in Vegas, which they said they'd give me 2 weeks notice, but they ended up giving me 3 days notice, and luckily the company was able to let me go for a few days. And
yeah, let's get people to work for it.
Yeah.
So did you have to pay your own way down to Vegas and all that stuff?
I did. So, but even if I didn't win, they still give you $1,000.
Okay.
They don't say that, but they do. But they didn't pay for a hotel or anything like that. That was all on me. But it ended up being a net gain. So
it must have made you feel pretty good when you got the call. Hey, you're in, right? You're coming on our show.
I was excited. It was kind of annoying not knowing when, but to know that it was coming in the future was pretty exciting.
So you get down there to the studios. By the way, it's distributed by Disney, ABC Home Entertainment, and TV Distribution. I want to give them credit because we're going to show a clip from your appearance, Braden. So you and Kelsey, you're in Vegas. You check in. Walk me through what happened between the time you got off the airplane to the time you got back on the airplane 3 days later.
Well, we went straight to the hotel. We actually that night we were driving to the hotel, or taking an Uber to the hotel, and we passed a billboard saying the Backstreet Boys were in Vegas, and so we thought, how often are we both grew up with them, and we're fans of them, so I ended up buying front row tickets, and we went down there and saw that. And
that's cool.
Then the next day we went down to the studio and checked in, spent time in a green room, and you're completely like isolated from everyone. You don't watch other people play. You sit and watch old episodes of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And we spent the whole 8-10 hour day there, and they never got to us. So they're
that
like,
must have been excruciating.
It was pretty bad.
They locked you in a little room with a snack tray for 8 hours.
Pretty much. I mean, but it was fun. There were a lot of good people to talk to and everything. So, but then we ended up having to come back because that was a Thursday. They don't tape Friday, so we ended up having to stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
At your own expense.
Right. Yeah. Come back Monday, and then Monday they said you'll be the first one on.
Okay.
We were actually the third one on, but close enough. We didn't have to spend all day there, so that was. I mean, on Thursday it was kind of annoying because they got us all mic'd up and did makeup and everything, and then they're like, oh, can't get to you. So we had to come back and do it all again on Monday. So, but we got to spend a weekend in Vegas and had a lot of fun. So.
And you won how much?
$30,000.
$30,000, and you get that flat out. You've gotten the check.
Yep.
Money came.
Yep.
And that was the question. There you. Hey, look at you. You clean up good, by the way.
Thank you.
We're going to roll this video. The video, by the way, is courtesy of Disney, ABC Home Entertainment, TV Distribution. I want to thank them for working with us. During the Get to Know You segment, they asked Brandon what he plans to do with his winnings. Check it out.
$1 million, you could do some great stuff with it. What would you do?
I have a large family. I come from a family with, I have 6 brothers and sisters, and they all have kids, and I would love to rent out Disneyland for a day and take them all to Disneyland and show them the time of their lives. I think it would be, I'd be the favorite uncle forever.
That would definitely give you that title. And if you promise churros, I am in as well.
Churros are in.
Churros I'm in. I work for churros. That's all I need.
You taking the family to Disneyland? Is that the plan, or
no?
No. Okay.
I never even looked up how much that would cost.
Well, yeah, probably around $30,000. I can tell you that much. Did you know that? Was that question vetted, or it was a?
They gave me a list of 3 questions. They actually picked that question out of the 3, and they actually told me it was going to be a different question. So if I look surprised when they asked me that, then it's because I was.
So the whole experience were you just like nervous? Were you sweating? First of all, you cleaned up really good. I've never seen you in a suit and a tie before.
Thank you. Not a lot of people have.
But did you even know what was going on when it was happening? Were you really aware? Talk me through, what's that like?
I'm a pretty introverted person. I'm not a very social, person. So being in social situations can make me feel kind of nervous. But I think having spent all day Thursday talking with the people and everything and kind of going through the situation, and I think that kind of got me through the nerves portion of it. So when I came back on Monday, I was pretty in the zone, ready to go.
Yeah, it probably helped you more ways than not.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you knew, you're almost guaranteed you knew you were going to be on Monday, even though they had told you before.
Right.
Behind the scenes, backstage, what's it like working with like real live TV professionals as opposed to like us?
It's a little more hectic than you'd think. They shuffle you around a lot. They're let's go over here, let's go over here, let's go do this, let's go do that, and they don't have a lot of patience. They're like, hurry up. They have a schedule to stick to, so I understand.
The questions, were they what you were expecting?
They were about the level I was expecting.
Yeah.
I knew, they told us beforehand that, because a lot of times you think, oh, they know, for example, I'm a network administrator, so they would avoid questions on certain topics, but it's completely randomized and sealed in an envelope before you even get there, or before at the beginning of the season when they start filming. So
yeah, all of this stuff is heavily vetted, because we all know about quiz show scandals of the 50s when the contestants were given the questions in advance and they would build up all this fake drama into the whole thing. Well, the government stepped in and said, if you're going to do game shows, it's got to be on the up and up,
right,
or you're not going to do them anymore. So there's a lot of legal proceedings going on there. So. So the questions are, if you're not familiar with the format, the questions start out pretty easy, and then they get harder and harder as you climb up the ladder. What was you were at 30, so right. The next level would have been
50.
50, except you missed the 50 question.
I missed. I chose to walk away on the 50 question.
Okay, that's right. So, did you use any of your lifelines?
I did. I actually used all 3 of my lifelines. Okay. Actually, on the $50,000 question, when I walked away, I brought in my +1, which was my wife, Kelsey.
Yeah, it was good to see her, by the way.
And yeah, she had fun with it too. So,
Kelsey used to work here, and then she doesn't, but we must have her around. Anyway,
I used her. I brought her down, and because the question was on Easter Island, and basically what country it belonged to. And we had just watched a documentary about Easter Island a few weeks ago, and so I thought maybe, because I didn't remember, maybe she would remember, and she didn't. So it was nice having her there to kind of talk to him, like, I'm thinking about walking away, because it's a big risk, and if I answered it incorrectly, then I would have walked away with $5,000. But if I just chose to walk away without answering it, I got to keep the 30s, and that's what I ended up doing.
Let me think. Easter Island. It belonged, I don't know, I want to say New Zealand.
It's Chile.
Oh, Chile, of course. See, I didn't want to confuse Easter Island with the Galapagos Islands.
Right. And Galapagos is Ecuador, I believe.
Right.
And that's what I thought it was originally, so I thought I knew the answer, but then I realized, oh, it's Easter Island, not Galapagos Island, so yeah.
What kind of prep did you do? Just general knowledge books? Did you read an almanac? What did you do?
I didn't really do any prep.
Yeah.
I'm not a prep type of person, but and with the breadth of topics and everything, it's almost impossible to prepare for something like this.
Do you think you'd be pretty good at writing Jeopardy questions, or writing the kinds of questions that you get asked on Jeopardy and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? To be on the other side of that and be somebody who writes the questions instead of answers them?
Yeah, I think I'd probably be pretty good at that.
Yeah, I've always thought I could do that pretty well, as well. So was there any fake, you see these things some kind of, it's the first question, it's only $4,000, and the answer is obvious. I mean, a fourth grader can get it, and they, well, gee, I don't know, okay, that happened then, and they go through this whole, is some of that kind of staged, I want to say? Because if you know the answer immediately.
I think so, because they tell you the first few questions, try to get through them as quickly as you can. Right. Don't try and, but they said on the the larger value questions, if you're thinking about something, always keep talking. Don't just, fall silent and so try to keep talking, and that's not how I normally operate, so that was kind of hard to kind of find things to say when I'm trying to think at the same time. So, but yeah, they try to get you to rush through those first 3 questions as fast as you can.
The bottom line is it's television entertainment, and that's what they want the viewers at home to be entertained by the people. If there's somebody out there who's watching this show right now, the thousands of people who are watching this show right now, what advice would you give them, Brandon? Say, you know what, I think I'd like to maybe take a shot at Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or whatever. Never been on a game show. All I do is watch it. Looks like it's fun. What advice would you give a potential contestant out there?
Try out for as many as you can. Just sign up for as many as you can and keep doing it. Every time they have auditions, keep doing it, because eventually they're going to grab you.
Yeah. With the exception of Let's Make a Deal, because then all you got to do is dress up like a turnip, and it turns out you're on.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be going to that one.
Yeah, that I don't know why I don't like that show. I just don't like Let's Make a Deal. So you're not taking the family to Disneyland, but you got 30 grand, and
I'm taking my wife and daughter to Italy next year. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
And we got to pay some bills off. So.
Yeah. So now you finally get to talk about it, and that's the good part.
Yeah.
It seems weird because he went down in July to Vegas, and he can't talk about it until. And keep in mind that this had to go through all of the platforms, right?
Right.
It aired on. It was online. It was on Game Show Network.
Right. It was on secondary markets, smaller markets.
And the reason that he was quarantined, for lack of a better term, is that his 2 episodes, that was the other thing, he was on 2 episodes, so that even extended that even further, finally aired on the local affiliates in Washington State on Monday and Tuesday of this week. And so now you're free to talk about it. So that's good news. What's next for Brandon?
I'm going to keep trying out for Jeopardy!
Okay.
And throwing my hat in the ring in any other trivia game shows that I can.
One last question. During that whole, you couldn't have just like picked your phone out of your pocket and say, Siri, what country does Easter Island belong to?
No, they watch you for, signals to the audience, and I mean, they're watching pretty closely.
Tell me about the host real quickly. I'm not familiar with him. He seems to do a really good job.
He was a really nice guy. He was a lot more personable than I thought he would be, and kind of talkative during the breaks, and yeah, he was a really nice guy. He's good at his job.
What do you do during the commercial breaks?
They actually go pretty quickly. You just talk for, a couple minutes, and because the commercial breaks may be 3 or 4 minutes long, but in reality, in there it's only 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, because they're pre-taping it, and they want to keep the momentum going. If they say, well, we'll be back in 4 minutes, that's not 4 minutes, it's 30 seconds, and right back again. So, all right, well, we'll be back in 30 seconds. Just kidding. Brandon, we're going to cut you loose. It's good to see you, my friend.
You too.
And if I don't see you, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, everybody, it is 53 minutes after they are going to take a quick 2-minute break. I'll come back and take one more look at your weather forecast and your past reports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Kuntz Fashions has your lifestyle in mind. Casual to special occasions, head-to-toe styling, foundations to shoes, jewelry, scarves, handbags, awesome gifts too. Denim brands from Liverpool, Not Your Daughter's Jeans, French dressing, all fits and sizes. Slacks from Joseph Ribkoff, Renoir, Tribal, and Elliott Lauren. Easy care and flattering. Stylish sweaters from Icelandic, Curio, and Tribal. Great selection of cashmere sweaters and scarves too. We always have you in mind at Kuntz Fashions in downtown Wenatchee.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Friday. I am Dan Kuntz. As you can see, kind of overcast and cloudy here as our shot of downtown Wenatchee dominates the view, and that's what we're going to have today. We'll do a forecast in just a couple seconds, but once again, I want to remind you about this 911 outage. It is continuing to be problematic, to say the least. It started last night at about 8:40. It was statewide, spread out to many parts of the nation as well. CenturyLink, who was in charge of this system apparently, thought they had a beat on it. For a while there this morning, early this morning, Rivercom's 911 system was back up again, and then it went back down again, and it just isn't working very consistently. It's not a very stable system right now. So again, if you live in the Chelan or Douglas County areas, those are the areas served by Rivercom, and you have an emergency, dial 663-9911. 663-9911 is Rivercom's normal business line. That's the number that you need to call for emergency services. The 911 system is simply working intermittently at best. They're still working to get a beat on it. Once it stabilizes and it looks like the entire system is up and running again, we'll be sure to let you know via our website and our Facebook page. But once again, 911 is not working consistently, and they're asking you, do not call 911 to see if 911 is working. That does not help the problems when it's up and about. We'll be sure to let you know via our Facebook page and our website. All right, studio weather forecast for today and the weekend. About a 60% chance of some light snow today. Less than ½ inch is that they're telling us. It'll be this afternoon if it happens at all. Patchy fog, lots of clouds, and a high of 32. Chance of snow at about 50% tonight. Cloudy, maybe a ½ inch. 29 for the overnight low. Whatever snow we're going to get is going to be gone. Johnson tomorrow. Partly sunny, windy, and a high near 44 on Saturday. So we're going from normal temperature, 32 is just about normal for this time of the year, to above normal. 44 high on Saturday. Saturday night, breezy, partly cloudy, 33 for the overnight lows. Sunday, sunshine and 41 degrees. Monday, New Year's Eve, sunshine and 35 degrees. New Year's Day, partly sunny and a high of 35. So a little bit of light snow, dusting of snow this afternoon, dusting of snow tonight. It'll be out of here by noon tomorrow, if in fact it happens at all. No advisories, no restrictions on the major mountain passes. You're good to go across the board. They're expecting a little bit of snow today, but quite a bit of snow beginning tonight and really lasting all day Saturday and into Saturday night. So if you're traveling into the mountain passes this weekend, now's a good time to go. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us on this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Don't forget about the news with Grant Olson coming your way at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great weekend. Go Cougs. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.